Good morning, Lou. My name is Ron Bartlett, and we're going to be talking about the machine operator position for Manitoba Furniture. I have some questions, and if you have some after, that's great. Lou, why don't you tell me about yourself?
Well, I'm hardworking. I'm also very organized. I like playing. I like working with my hands, and I also like working with tools. I like working and helping out co-workers. And on the side, I like to watch movies and play tennis.
Excellent, good. Well, in your last position, you were at Simpson's Furniture. Can you tell me a little bit about some of your responsibilities?
Yes, I had to run a computerized machine, and I also had to make sure I worked about 60 pieces per hour. And I trained a few people there, and I helped a few other people even help set up other equipment in the place.
Excellent, okay. So why did you leave Simpson's?
Well, it's like this. The boss and I never saw eye to eye. He was always telling me that I wasn't doing enough work. I disagreed with him, and I said I did. He hauled me into the office. He told me that they could hire people with my wages, and he was just telling me that I just wasn't any good, and I just thought that was really low of him. And I tried to reason with him, and he just wouldn't be reasonable. So I just decided the hell with him, and I just decided just to get up and leave. If he doesn't see eye to eye with me, you can't get no project done, nothing done, and you end up costing the company money. And so I decided that it wasn't for me, and I decided to leave.
Okay, I understand. Now, in the last 3 years at Simpson's Furniture, how much sick time were you away?
Well, I had, the last 2 years, I had a perfect record. I never I never called in sick. And, but this year, for some reason, with the flu bug flying all over the place, I got it, and I was home for about 10 days in bed with the flu. But 10 days out of the year is not that bad at all, at least my own thinking anyway.
Okay. Now, what would be considered your weaknesses?
My weaknesses. Like I like to work with a lot of people, but there are times where they need me over to help them because they're stuck on something and they don't know what to do and they don't want to make a mistake. So what I do is I go and I help them, and sometimes I fall behind work, so I have to work that extra harder to get on track. But that's okay because I love doing it, and that's my job, and I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
My extra work.
Okay. So what would be your strengths?
Well, my strengths would probably be, because you're working on heavy machinery, safety. Safety to me is number one. Okay. And there was a small case where this new guy we got, and I explained to him, look, it's safety is number one. If you get hurt here, you won't be any good to me. If you cut your fingers off, you won't be good anywhere, never mind just in my department. So I've had a perfect record so far, and I made sure I spoke about safety, and safety was number one, and I've had a perfect record.
Oh, that's very good. So where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 5 years?
Well, I'm hoping to plan to research your company, and I hope to find out more about your company so that I can stay with you, with your company for a very long time, and to help out wherever I need it.
Okay, good. Can you tell me, Lou, a time when, let's say, you're working with some equipment and it went down, and what you did to, let's say, get it back on track?
Yes, we had an incident where there are times when the busy season comes around, and my machine broke down, and we tried to fix it and we couldn't, so my boss went and phoned mechanic person.
Yep.
And he said to them that he couldn't make it within a week. And the boss came back to me and says, well, we can't afford this. Do you think you guys can fix it? So he gave me another guy, and I wrote down everything I took apart and make sure that everything was proper when we put it back. And at the end of it, within 2 or 3 hours, we got it fixed and we had the machine up and running. And we had the things, my pieces back up to par. And not too often, but the boss sometimes comes out and gives me a nice pat on the back. You know, it makes me feel good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what about salary expectations?
Well, to start, because of my knowledge of running these equipment and all that stuff there, the low end of about $11 an hour would be, I think, be okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Are you planning to expand at any point this year or next?
Well, not this year, but probably next year we're looking at other opportunities in Canada, yes.
Okay. How many employees do you have working for you?
Right now, about 120.
120. Now, if you hire me and I do come to work for you, for the first month, would I have somebody watching me just to make sure I do everything properly? I'm a very fast learner, by the way, so you know I can learn very quickly. But would you have anybody on me just to see if I'm doing okay and all that?
Yeah, well, the organization will have the head machine operator working with you for the first couple of months, and then once that's completed and evaluated and everything's working well, you'd be on your own.
Oh, okay. What's mine? Oh yeah. Is there any overtime in this company?
We do have overtime. It's generally seasonal, more around the Christmas time, but yes, we do.
Just one more question, okay? Training. Do you have any training whatsoever for your company?
We do have some training programs that some of the machinists take. It's either some of it's done in-house, and some is taken at a local community college. Okay. Good. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay.